Hey, what's up guys? So with Judgment of Light coming out, they're releasing more support for the Archfiends. Now, Archfiends is an older archetype. It never really took off. Basically, the older way that Archfiends played where you had to pay life points during your standby phase, and then they'd have a really mediocre effect by rolling a six-sided dice, and if you got lucky and you rolled the correct one, you would have some effect. Mostly, it was just negate whatever your opponent did. But we're going to be taking a look at some of the newer cards, as well as a few of the older cards that possibly will support the newer cards in the future, because I think that they actually have a pretty good chance, because they have the ability to XYZ, and they have a lot of combos, and they can plus off of the field spell really easy. So we're going to jump right into it with Trick Archfiend. So this is actually a tour guide target, so if this card is sent to the graveyard by a card effect, or by being destroyed by battle, you can add one Archfiend card from your deck to your hand. Except for herself, you can only use the effect of Trick Archfiend once per turn. Now that's a pretty good effect, because that means that if it's sent from the deck to the graveyard, or from the field to the graveyard, you'd still get the effect. So if you Foolish Burial, Armageddon Knight this card, you get the effect, which is pretty awesome. And that's any Archfiend card. That's a pretty good effect. Plus, if you XYZ with it detached, you'd still get its effect, because it still goes to the graveyard. And it actually reminds me of this card over here. This is Archfiend Empress. I'm not sure how good this card will actually be in the new Archfiends, but if you guys can check out the artwork, this card reminds me of something from like a completely different game. I really love the artwork on this card. It reminds me of something from like Diablo 2. Next up, we're going to check out another new card. This is Archfiend Cavalry. So this card on the field is destroyed by a card effect and sent to the graveyard. You can target one Archfiend monster in your graveyard except for itself and special summon that target. It cannot attack this turn. And he's 1900 attack, so that's pretty good. He actually combos well with the next card we're going to be talking about, so I'll explain the combo real quick. Basically, all you do is summon Archfiend Cavalry, just normal summon it, and then you will special summon this guy over here. This is Archfiend Commander. So his effect is if you control Archfiend monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. When you do target one Archfiend monster you control, destroy it. This card cannot attack during the turn it is special summoned this way. You can only special summon Archfiend Commander this way once per turn. When this card is tribute summoned, you can target one level 6 Archfiend monster in your graveyard and special summon that target. Now, you probably won't be tributing it too often, but if you have the ability to do so, hey, that's pretty cool. But basically, like I said, you summon Cavalry, then you special summon this guy. This guy then destroys Cavalry. Cavalry then special summons any monster that you would like to summon. And then most likely you're going to go for an XYZ, because you'll probably make like a Bouncer or whatever rank 6 that you want to make, because I assume unless you're going to try to level eater this thing, you're going to go for a rank 6 XYZ. So that's just one basic combo. Next up we have Evil Emperor of Terror, Genesis Archfiend. He's the Hyperion of the deck. So we have the ability to XYZ. I don't know, I really want to try to add level eaters in here, because the ability to go for like any XYZ is pretty awesome, and I think this deck can have some potential to do so, but we're going to have to figure out how to get level eater back into the graveyard to keep level eating. But anyways, this guy's pretty good. You can normal summon this card without tributing, but its original attack and defense are halved. If you do, destroy it during the end phase. You cannot special summon monsters other than Archfiend, or other than Fiend type monsters. Once per turn, you can banish one Archfiend card from your hand or graveyard to target one card on the field and destroy that target. Now that's pretty cool. That's like a Hyperion that can banish any Archfiend card, so you can go and banish other cards, which hopefully will come out in the future, that will support the Archfiend archetype. But this card's pretty good. 3000 attack pretty much gets over everything, because it gets over Graphic because it's also a Fiend, because the field spell is not something we can really talk about. Plus he's already 3000, so already gets over Grapha if the field spell is not already on there. But if it is, then it doesn't matter. You still run over it, and 3000 attack is still pretty good in the game, and you know, the ability to pop any card, just like Hyperion does, is pretty good. Next up we have the Archfiend Palace, Labyrinth of Fiends. So Fiend type monsters you control gain 500 attack. You can target one Archfiend monster you control, banish one Fiend type monster you control, except that target, then special summon one Archfiend monster with the same level as that target from your hand, deck, or graveyard. You can only use the effect of Archfiend Palace, the Labyrinth of Fiends, once per turn. Now, I think it's an okay effect. Like, the 500 boost is very mediocre, but the next field spell, which is actually the older Archfiend field spell, I feel it's much better, because if you guys remember, cards like this guy and cards like Cavalry get effects when they are destroyed. And the older field spell, which is Pandemonium, actually works a lot better than the newer one, unless they change the newer one to also have that effect. But anyways, neither player has to pay life points during their standby phase for Archfiend monsters, which isn't something you'll probably will use. But if they make new Archfiends, perhaps this will be actually useful. Each time a player's Archfiend monster is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, except by battle, that player can add one Archfiend monster from their deck to their hand that is a lower level than the destroyed card. So that's pretty good. It has the ability to, you know, go for whatever you need. Obviously, it has to be lower level, but having the ability to just go for what you need in the right time is always good. And this is a field spell, so it stays there, and so you can keep on getting those effects, which can become pretty nasty. Next card up is Archfiend General. Now, this just fills your monsters up with the Fiend monsters, so you can banish them for Evil Emperor, because this guy has the effect you can banish one of the Archfiends, and he pops a card, and this just allows you to not only add the Pandemonium, but put something in the grave. Plus, he's 2100 attack, so I think that it's an okay card, I mean, if Pandemonium isn't on the field, then you destroy him. But this one doesn't really have an effect when it's destroyed. Lastly, we have this card, which is also an older card, so this one's effect is it's pretty good. It reminds me of Brain Control, or maybe like, what is it, Snatch Steal, the one that equips, but anyways, you destroy this card if there's no Archfiend card on your side of the field. Take control of one of your opponent's monsters that is equipped with this card. You take 800 points of damage during each of your opponent's standby phase, but that doesn't really matter. 800 points to, I mean, it's like Brain Control. Brain Control is 800 points. Did that really matter? Very, very few times did it matter for you not being able to pay the 800 life points, but this is you take 800 points damage, you don't have to pay it immediately, so it's much better in that sense that you can't really be a dead draw, unless you don't have an Archfiend card. And it doesn't have to be an Archfiend monster, just Archfiend card. And wait, actually no, Pandemonium is not an Archfiend card. Never mind. But still, basically, you'll have to have a monster. But then you can have the option to XYZ and stealing your opponent's monsters, and there's no restrictions on what you can do with it. You can tribute it, you can XYZ, you can synchro with it. I think this is going to be a really good card just because stealing people's monsters is always good in Yu-Gi-Oh! But yeah, that's just a brief preview of some of the Archfiend cards. I wish I could play it, but I'm in Asia right now, and the connection that I have is so bad. You can't even play, I can't even stream 240p. That's how bad the internet connection is. But yeah, I'm really excited about the new Archfiend support. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention this. I want to mention this very beginning of the video. But yesterday's video about Megalo and Priestess, that was an April Fool's. Because a lot of people PM me asking, the link's not working. Yes, it was an April Fool's. If you guys don't know what April Fool's, maybe you're from another country. April Fool's is on April 1st. We just pull a prank on a friend or something like that. And I pulled a prank on you guys, unless you guys believed it and decided to sell all your Megalos. Which in that case, well, you should have checked the description box for the link, because it was kind of just there. But yeah, pretty stoked about the Archfiends. I want to test out the deck. I feel like the deck has some potential, although it doesn't stun your opponent, and I feel like decks that are meta, they need to be able to stun your opponent, like first turn Lightning Dark Dragon, first turn Logia. Those decks just have superior advantage over the game, especially if they go first. And going first in Yu-Gi-Oh! Always better. But I think that some of the Archfiends, some of the cards are really good, and depending on what we get in the future, that might make Archfiends a decently competitive deck. But anyways, thanks for watching. Have a great day. Asian Eyes signing out.